Good evening everyone. How are we all? And welcome to the last live stream of 2017. I'll just wait for a few of you to hop on into the chat room and I will get the chat open. Who's in there tonight? Let's have a look. Chat. I will start it off. Good evening, everyone. Who likes my glasses, by the way? My mistletoe glasses. Who have we got in? Oh, viewers popping on now. Make sure you make yourselves known, guys. Drop a comment in the chat. Say hi. Say good evening. Say what's happened to 2017. Where's it gone? So blimmin' fast. So tonight, guys, I thought we would talk a little bit about 2017. Wrapping things up. Jack, good evening, mate. Good evening. I hope you're well. Thank you for joining tonight. Yeah, I thought we'd talk a little bit about 2017 and what everyone's goals have been, if we've achieved them, if we haven't. I'm really going to throw this out there for you guys tonight because I really want to get this one involved with everyone. I want to keep it shorter, sharper, punchier so everyone feels like they're involved. Jeffrey, good evening, mate. How is the knee? I hope you're well. I've seen you've just been for a cycle, which is awesome. Do you like the glasses, mistletoe glasses? Whilst I eat my crisps. So guys, whilst we're waiting for more people to come in, the guys that are in, Jeffrey, knee is holding up, so I'm happy. Good man. Do you know what I do, mate? Just for the next week, is keep that mix of running and cycling just to make sure everything's okay and then crack back on with running after Christmas. It's only 5 days, isn't it? And thank you, mate. I like the glasses too. So, yeah, as I said, whilst we wait for a few more people to come in, tell me in the comments, guys, 2017, highs and lows running-wise, PBs, not PBs, races that went well, that didn't go so well. And I'll tell you a little bit about mine whilst I wait for you guys to post in there. So 2017 has been an all-round good year this year for me. Running-wise, last year was horrific. I've never really done a video on last year. And I should do really, because I say to you guys a lot that my last year was a horrific year for racing. But I've never really gone into detail why, other than saying I overtrained in that. But this year has been really good. Evening, James, mate. It's been really good race-wise. The only race that was a minor disappointment was the 20-mile race I did at the beginning of the year, mainly because James beat me. But on a serious note, it was tough. It was a difficult race. I wasn't really, at the time, I wasn't really cut out for the longer distance. But other than that, since we raced that race, it's been a year full of PBs. It's been a great year, and I'm looking forward to wrapping it up with this live stream tonight. And for those of you who are watching, exciting news, that inspirational running video where you guys all submitted your stuff is done. It is going live on Friday. I cannot wait for you guys to see it. It's going to be awesome. So yeah, tell me guys, how's your 2017 been? Whilst I drink my tea and eat crisps. Oh, I'll tell you what I should also add to all of you guys in the chat room, because you guys have been here most weeks. Thank you so much for making this live stream what it is. I obviously threw this idea out there a couple of months ago now, and you guys were so supportive and said, yeah, go for it, you know, and it's been a fantastic little community that we've been building on YouTube, on this channel, on other channels, on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and all of them. They've been phenomenal, and there's been such a good year for every runner, you know. Everyone I just feel like I want to get everyone involved, and that's the idea of these live streams. So all of you guys, thank you so much for being involved. Anyway, tell me guys, what's been your highlights of the year race wise? Get typing your lows, your races, your PBs, and then we can move on to 2018 and talk about that. James, you won't have much to say because you only raced 3 times this year. No, 4 times, mate, sorry. whilst I have a sip of my tea. And also whilst I wait for you guys to type, just very quickly, I wanted to say, again, a massive thank you for all of you guys that sent in the videos, because I think most of you that are watching now and in the chat sent me some video footage, which is awesome. As I said, it's come out amazing. I cannot wait for you guys to see it. In terms of PBs this year for me and races, the massive highlights definitely have been the shorter races for sure. Definitely been the New at 9, the Seven Bridge night race. And as half marathons go, it's got to be the Forest City Autumn half marathon, getting that 1:27 on that hilly course. So I'm super excited to do Newport soon. Obviously in, first week of March. So what are we talking about? 9 weeks? Not long at all. More viewers coming on, guys. Drop your comments in the chat. Don't want to hear me waffle too much. I want to be hearing from you guys. Oh, Bays, Rich, mate, how are you? Are you over your cold? Are you over your illness? We're just talking about 2017, how it's been running-wise, highs and lows. Tell us about your PBs, your not-so-PBs, good races, bad races, and if you like these glasses or not. To be fair, mate, you have run some phenomenal races that a lot of these guys would be jealous of. Jeffrey, Rich came to South Africa earlier this year and ran Comrades. He did amazingly well, and that was one of your best videos, I think, mate. I watched that over and over again. It's so good. What are those glasses? They are mistletoe glasses, mate. This is mistletoe. You got to kiss me if you were here. I wouldn't, but you have to. You have been out of action for a long time, mate, but I hope you are back at it. You can enjoy Christmas and get back out there in 2018. Just as a side note, is anyone running over Christmas, guys? Is anyone having any time off? I'm going to be having 5 days off. I'm going to run on Saturday, get my long run done, and I won't go back out until next Sunday. Jeffrey. 2017 has been very challenging. Highlights have definitely been the Mountain Challenge series. 3 races, total distance 97k, and about 6,000 metres of elevation, and breaking sub 1:45 at the half marathon. Mate, that's a brilliant time. Wow. You speed demon. That's amazing. So that's fantastic. I really enjoyed, Jeffrey, your and this is why I love the running community, because a lot of us that record these videos, we don't sugarcoat things. We record when we're low, we record when we're high. And your race of that marathon you did recently, where you were going for that qualifying time, it just felt like I was following the journey with you, and there were highs and lows, and the low point when you couldn't get your tailwind in and the camera didn't record, and you were thinking you weren't going to get the qualifying time and everything. It was so good to watch you then get the qualifying time. I felt like I went on the roller coaster with you, and that's what I love, especially about your videos as well. You're very honest, and I like that. And so that's got to be a highlight, getting that qualifying time for next year, because you have an exciting year next year, to be fair. I must go back and check it out. Yeah, it's a really good video, mate. I really enjoyed it. I think, again, he struggled in that a little bit, but it was such a good race. It was awesome, mate. It was absolutely awesome to watch. And Rich, obviously, as well, that Abingdon Marathon video, that was fantastic. Just, I haven't trained for a marathon, but I'll rock up and do a marathon. You did so well. Thanks, Andy Measle. That's good, mate. Do you know what? Honestly, that's why I record my series now. I'm trying to record the highs and the lows, because I think if you sugarcoat everything and you paint this amazing picture of your life and your running and say it's all fantastic all the time, people can't relate to it, because everyone goes through highs and lows of running, whether it's injuries or not, whatever it is. Jeffrey, that's a lot of elevation. Yeah, I did a whole video on the trip. Yeah, you did, mate. It was awesome. And it went well. It was good. Yeah, totally agree, mate. It's a fantastic watch. It is honestly one of those ones, along with your Great Wall of China marathon, that I watch a lot. It's really good. I really enjoy them. James, Forest Trail Runner. Highs for me. running London, big marathon PB 3:11. That was a fantastic day, mate. I was tracking you because I was a local show exhibiting, and I had bad signal, but I had the live tracker on, and I was watching you go, and I was thinking, oh my goodness, it's flying. 3:11 is crazy. I'm very jealous. That's a PB I need to get to. Jack, 2017 has been good. I started running late last year. Wow. So there's mainly been consistency. I had a couple of injuries along the way, but overall feel like I've got into the groove and a lot more serious over the past few months, and I'm pretty happy with how it's progressing. That's awesome news, mate. So in which case, let's jump into 2018 for you. What have you got planned for 2018? Have you got any races, any specific distances that you want to tackle? What are you aiming to do? Bays, Forest Trail Runner 3:11 is amazing, well done. Isn't it just, mate? It was fantastic. He did so well that day. I think he cramped up a lot towards the end, and it's such a shame when that happens because he was absolutely flying. And if he hadn't cramped up, he would have easily got his good for age time of 3:05. If me eating crisps is annoying, guys, just tell me. Jeffrey, Rich, will you do it again? Yeah, I asked him that on the video on one of my comments. I think he said no, if I remember rightly. However, I might be wrong, but I remember commenting it. That was one of the first videos I ever saw of Rich's when I got introduced to his channel by Donato, the running guru. And I remember watching it and commenting saying, mate, that's a bucket list race. I'd love to do that. I'd absolutely love to do that race one day. Probably the downhill one, not the up. But actually, you'd have to do the up, wouldn't you? Because it's a challenge. And he was like, yeah, I'm not sure I'd do it again. I'm sure that's what he said. He might think differently now. Bays, I really wanted to go again this year and do the back-to-back up-down combo, but I can't afford to go again. No, I can imagine, mate. It's Forest Trail Runner, Bays. Thanks. Pleased with it. I was in form for a sub 3, but it's my second marathon. I learnt many lessons from next time. Yeah, we did a lot of training together. We ran the 20-mile race in the March, and then James carried on his marathon training to London, and I stopped and then went back to halves. And James was on fire doing workouts like, was it like 4x5k or 4x20 minutes or so? I think it was like 4x20 minutes in a long run. So it was an 18-mile long run, and in there 4x20 minutes at marathon effort. And that is a really, really tough and advanced workout. And he consistently ran low 650s, like every time. Definitely in form for a sub 3, or at least just over a 3. Definitely a good for age time, without a shadow of a doubt. But as you said, mate, many lessons for next time. Right, guys, in which case, let's all zip forward to 2018. What are we doing? What are the plans? Bays, I know you're running London, obviously. Just quickly. Absolutely, the marathon is rough. If it gets you, then there's no coming back, but you'll get it, mate. Keep plugging. Yeah, he will definitely. And that's why kind of we're doing this half marathon training, because this half marathon training we're doing now, we're both going to run Newport, is going to be the foundation for next year. I mean, I know James is going to be running Snowdon Marathon next year, which is an insanely tough marathon. I don't know if you've run that, mate, but I know he's got that plan, and he's going to be doing a series on his channel for that, hopefully, because that'll be a really good one to follow. Don't remind me of that workout. It was tough, mate. I remember I drove past you as you were doing it, because I didn't have to do that. I finished my race at that point, and I remember checking his Strava thinking, oh my goodness, I was in the same workout. But anyway, guys, 2018. What is 2018 got in store for you? What has it got in store for you? So for me, quickly, it's got these glasses, man. For me, it's got Newport Half Marathon, but first, and I haven't announced this yet, and I will do a video on it, I'm running the Lisbury 8. It's an 8-mile road race, end of January, on the last weekend in January, the 29th or 30th or something, or 28th. That's going to be a tune-up for the half marathon in March. So I'm running that, then the half marathon, then 2 weeks later in March, the Forest of Dean Spring Half Marathon. I will then do nothing in April probably. Our local club does a 1 mile race, I'll do that, but nothing major. Into May I'll probably do a 10k and a half marathon, do the Dimmock Half Marathon. If you guys have followed my channel, you've seen a couple of videos on that. I've done that 2 years in a row now. I want to do that again. I want to do it better. I want to get a sub 130 on that because that's a tough course. And then probably Gloucester 10k in June, July, same as this year. Gloucester half marathon in August, want to shoot for a PB there if it's not too hot. And then marathon training. By the time we hit that August time, it'll be marathon training, and I will be running an autumn marathon 100%. So I'm really excited to do another marathon training series on this channel. But we're going to do it sensibly, and we're going to be building up shorter distance in the first part of the year to longer distance. So it's all going to be one big training block. Phase, yes, London 2018. That's awesome. And I'm looking at finding an affordable international option in Europe. Lush. That's awesome. Oh. Amsterdam. I know Donato suggested Frankfurt. Paris. That's just over the channel, mate. I don't know about race-wise, but surely getting over there is not too bad. You could Eurostar it. I really fancy the race to train in Wales too. I want to hear that train. Yeah, mate, that looks an awesome race, doesn't it? James has said that. Oh, I'm out of crisps. You can stop hearing me chomp now. My main races I'm really wanting to do this year are the Two Oceans Ultra. 56k road, Cape Town Marathon. We'll see if I can train for a sub 3:30. Woo! Awesome. A Marloth Mountains Challenge Skyrun, 55k. And then 65k. Ultra Trail Cape Town. Mate! That's amazing goals. That is so cool. I love that. So you're really into the ultra scene, aren't you? Definitely. I mean that's some seriously long races. Can I make a recommendation? As I have them, and they're really good. I would download Sage's ultra marathon training plan, Sage Canada, on his website. Me and James have got it, and it's only like $10. I don't know what that converts to with you, but for us that's like £6. It's not a lot at all, and it's got, and it, although you don't have to follow it religiously, it's got some good workouts in it, which means that when you come to doing some of these races, if you can tune up just a little bit with some good workouts, then you'll feel so much better. I know you want to get onto a training plan, but if you don't have time to do a full training plan, 100%, have a look at that training plan, grab it. As I said, me and James have it. We've got most of his plans, to be fair. We share it between each other, and they're really good. I'll probably follow his marathon training plan for the October one next year. There's a race in Bordeaux where each mile there's a wine and cheese stop. Sounds great. Is there? It's a marathon. Does the UTCT go up Table Mountain? Yeah, Table Mountain, Lion's Head, Devil's Peak, etc. James, you're talking like you're a local. You've only been there once. I mean, Jeffrey, that's so cool. Sorry, I lost my train of thought then, but that is such an awesome set of races coming up. That is so cool. And do you know what, honestly, I'd love to, at some stage I will get into ultras. I'd love to do one like after the marathon next year, but I'll leave myself too late. There's a race here called Escape from Meriden that me and James have been talking about for ages, and it sells out in hours, and it starts in dead centre of England, and you've got a GPS tracker on you, and you just have to run as far away from that point in 24 hours. You've got 24 hours and you just got to run wherever you want to go. And from there to our house, roughly, is about 60 miles. And in 24 hours. And James has worked out the maths that to go 4 miles an hour, which is quite a slow combination of walking and running, or just a bit faster than a walk, we could get home in 24 hours. So we're tempted, but we wouldn't be able to do that till 2019 if we did do it. But that's sounds awesome. Jack, wow, that sounds awesome, nice and hilly. Yeah, doesn't it just, mate? Awesome, thanks for checking it out. Yeah, definitely, mate. Check it out. They're really good. James, I'd love to have a crack at UTCT. Well, mate, if you get your company to fly you out there again, maybe you could around that time. Jack, it's mountainous. Rossa, good evening, mate. Good evening. I'm concentrating on a few 100k races with a 100-miler or two sprinkled in. I live for the struggle. That's a good strapline there, mate. I live for the struggle. That should be your YouTube strapline. I live for the struggle. I like that. You're doing so well with your Mount Everest challenge at the moment. I watched your video earlier. Haven't commented yet, but I watched your video earlier. You're doing so well. I mean, really, really good. Keep going, mate. Absolutely, you're going to smash it. Because I know you got the inspiration from Run Steep, Get High, but he's not posting at the moment, so I don't know what he's doing, if he's still attempting that sort of thing. But he was doing a great job as well. I really like his stuff. So when is your first race in 2018 then, mate? So is it 100k first and then 100-miler? When is the first one? James, the 100k UTCT has a 17-hour cut-off. 17 hours. Wow, not sure I could do that. Bays, dude, I did 54 miles in 11:19, so in 24 hours you can do a lot more than 60. Oh, well, James, that's game on then, isn't it? Challenge for us. We've got to do that, haven't we, in 2019? We've got to see how far, maybe we could get to Cardiff and beyond. Richard, yeah, Comrades is 87k. That's insane. I remember following it this year because we had a local chap from Bournemouth called Steve Way, who's the UK 100k champion, I think, record holder, and he went out there and he absolutely smashed it. I think he came like top 10. So I was following that race intently. Why would you run to Cardiff? Well, where else would you go? Would you go on down to Bristol, into Somerset? Or would you go into Cardiff? Where else would you go? You've got to keep running, mate. Didn't we say we'd run from there straight down into the Forest of Dean, and then you keep going to Chepstow, and then through to Cardiff? No? Or you go over the bridge down into Bristol. I don't know. Go somewhere. If Base says he did 54 miles in 11:19, and we could do a lot more in 24 hours, then mate, we got to go for 100, haven't we? 24 hours, 100 miles, piece of cake. Not that I know what I'm talking about because I've never run that far. Jeffrey, really loving the updates on your... Yeah, exactly. It's good, isn't it? I really like... And do you know what? As far as this is what I want to tell people with YouTube, is that I love series hooks people, even if it's a small series of just 2-3 videos, because you set the standard. You say what you're going to do, and then people want to get hooked and follow on. So when I watched your second video earlier, I was like, that's amazing, you're on target, you're doing well, you're even better than being on target. So it's now got me hooked to watching the next one and the next one. So it's awesome. James, Somerset. Do you reckon? Wherever, let's plan something. We should do it. Bay, Steve Way was in my hotel on our flight home, was he? Came ninth. I knew he came top 10. He was doing the comrade shuffle at the airport with the rest of us. That's fantastic. He's such a good runner. He's insane. I follow him on Strava. I don't know if you do, but it's ridiculous. Guys, there are more people in watching than who's chatting. If you're in here tonight, as this is the last live stream of 2017, comment, just say hi. Let us know where you're coming from, who's watching. Let us know. And talk about your 2017 highs and lows and what you've got planned for 2018. James, remember it's as the crow flies, not overall distance covered. We just need to try and run in a straight line then, even if that takes us through the River Severn and out the other side. Bay's 101 to be safe, yeah, definitely. I stay in a town called Somerset West here. I know there are names all over the place. I'd love to go to South Africa. Rossa, Jeffrey, right on, brother. It is something simple but a good challenge. Thank you. Yeah, isn't it just? Well, mate, do you know what? I wouldn't say it's simple. I mean, 30,000 foot in a month is insane. It's absolutely crazy. I keep realising, guys, I'm looking at the chat here and I'm not looking at you. That's a big challenge. And do you know what? I'd love to do something like that. I might try in between training plans to do some kind of climbing challenge, because James, when we go out running, he's like a gazelle. As you probably saw in my latest snow video, he just flies down the ice without a problem, and I'm like tiptoeing and walking. And I need to get better at hills. I need to keep up with him. So maybe I need to do a challenge like that next year. Right, 2018, guys. Just making sure I'm caught up to date. Yeah. So for me, like all you guys, you're talking about ultras, and it 100% makes me want to do an ultra really badly. I'd love, and me and James have talked about it ages, loads of times, and it's just about fitting it in next year. But I want to really, really try and dial in this shorter speed, get quicker, and then get the marathon good for age time, because that's what I'd shoot for tail end of next year, and then maybe look at an ultra after that. But I just don't know if I go for a runnable ultra, as in relatively flat, not much elevation, and just see how long I can run for, or if we go for some kind of major challenge of climbing like I did with the Brecon Beacons, but that was only a half marathon. James, I'd do it with you. Well, mate, we have to do it, don't we? We've just got to do it. We just didn't book it up this year. Well, it was too short notice, wasn't it? And it clashed with the race. I think it was the same day I did New and 9. But we got to look at doing it. Oh, the vegan runner. Hi, mate. How are you? I messaged you on your Facebook page. I don't know if you got it. I hope you're all right, and I hope the injury is healing up well. Tell me. And secondly, whilst you're in, I'm back running now, only 2 miles a day. Oh, good man. Take it easy, take it steady. But that's amazing news. I'm looking forward to your next live stream as well, mate, and update on the injury and how it's all healing. Just very quickly, mate, tell us what your highs and lows are. I mean, I think we can guess your lows of being injured, but your highs for this year, what your goals are for next year. Because that'd be awesome, because obviously everyone in this chat watches your videos, so they'd love to know. It'll be exclusive information right here on the FOD Runner YouTube channel. That's some progress, yes, isn't it just, mate? That's good progress. So back, and I think, mate, 2 miles a day is sensible at the moment, especially over Christmas, because there's no rush now, is there, through Christmas? You know, you can have a bit of downtime, you're going to eat a bit of rubbish, put on a few pounds maybe, or I will anyway, and you know, just take it steady. And this is a good time to just slowly build back up and back up and back up until the new year hits and you can maybe go for 4, 5, 6 miles a day. Just take it steady, mate. I don't want to see you injured again. You were flying with your blooming 5k PBs. My goal for summer 2018 is sub 16 5k on the track. That's awesome and very doable. And a sub 9 3k on the track, and maybe a sub 35 10k. Those are awesome goals. See, now I can't quantify a 3k race. I don't know what that would be. 3k, so that's running, what minute per mile pace is that? So obviously that's 3k, 3 minute kilometers, obviously, but what is that per mile? Because I work in mileage. I don't know kilometers, but 16 5k, mate, that's more than doable. 450. Oh, that's quick. Blimey. But doable, because you're running, what was it, about 530s for your current, between 530 and 540 for your current 5k. So that's more than doable, isn't it? Definitely. In a sub 35 10k, mate. We've got a speed demon in our athletics club called Marcus, and he ran a 34 something a few weeks ago. He's a really good runner, and that was 5:20 something pace. Well, if you're running 5:30 something now, I'm like, I know how much that is to take off. It's about 10 to 15 seconds a mile. Like, I know that's it doesn't sound a lot. I know it is a lot, but from now until the summer, if you can stay injury free, that is so doable. That's beyond doable. And the marathon I'm hoping to do next year, tail end, is Bournemouth Marathon. So if I do end up doing it in October, I would love to meet up with you. Rossa, my goal for 2018 is to run as far as I can without dying whilst having fun. Currently, mate, all I can manage is 26.2 miles. And to be fair, I died. This mistletoe man. To be fair, I died after running that. So, oh yeah, I'll come down to Bournemouth. Awesome, mate. I'd love to, because I know you live relatively local today. And we were talking about Steve Way a minute ago. I know he's a local chap to you. He's in your running club. We're talking about his comrades' performance earlier this year. But that would be awesome. It would be awesome to meet up. Yeah, Rosser, sorry, mate. Yeah, I mean, that's 100 miles, right? 100-mile race that you've got planned is just 100 miles is beyond my capabilities of thinking. I don't know how you could even contemplate running something that far, as much as I'd love to be able to. You know, you watch things like Western States and all this stuff, and it's just an incredible race. I said to James when we were out there, like this year, Jim Walmsley ran, and they all ran through like 20 miles of snow in a 100-mile race. So we ran 16 miles on ice, and if you watch James's video, by the end of the video, he was like done, and I was exactly the same. Just we never wanted to run to finish that badly. And these guys can do it within a 100-mile race. It's insane. And I said to Jeffrey on his video, the chap that won it, I can't think of his name off the top of my head. The South African chap, he just cruised. He was amazing. Vegan runner. Have I heard of Jacob Ingebrigtsen? I have, mate. He's that really quick lad. It's quite a young chap, isn't he? Breaking all sorts of records. He's got brothers as well, hasn't he? 2 or 3 brothers, I think. He's from Finland or Sweden. He's setting the most Ryan Sandys, mate. That's the one. He was phenomenal. You should be proud to have him as an athlete from your country. Yes, I have, mate. And I've been doing a little bit of research on him. He's an incredibly quick chap, sponsored by Nike. So I'm obviously always, I'm not going to be controversial, but I'm always suspect of what goes on there, because with all due respect, asthma medication and all this rubbish, if you're asthmatic, you're asthmatic, you need a puffer. That's fine. James is asthmatic, he runs with his puffer. But to have asthma medication when you have asthma, I don't know, I don't buy it. But he's regardless of that, even if he does or doesn't, he's an incredible athlete. And also the same with that that European chap that ran 2:05 recently. I mean, that's a phenomenal time. Absolutely ridiculous time for the fastest European time. I just hope Mo can kind of get up there and beat that. Forest Trail, Ryan Sandys is from York. Yeah, he is. He's South African. Tea and crisps gone. Jack, my 2018 plan is to jump on a half marathon training plan to start with. Good man. Then you'll be sticking with that to the end and working on speed in the increasing distance in the second half of the year. Mate, that's awesome. So if you don't have a plan in mind, obviously check out my half marathon series. I'm doing the High Altitude Training Institute. High Altitude Training Institute's training series. It's 20 weeks. And he's got a beginner, intermediate and advanced. So have a look at them all. If you've got one sorted, that's fine. Obviously, Sage has a good plan. But that's amazing. I'm not 100% sure whereabouts you are I'm assuming, are you in the UK or US? I'm not sure where you are, but what half marathon are you looking at doing? Tell us. Vegan running, yeah, I think it's strange a huge amount of pro level runners claim to have asthma so they can take puffers. Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not going to be controversial. I'm not interested in being controversial, but I am very much of the opinion that if you, I know you're a fan of Durian Rider and you watch his videos, and I watch his videos a lot, and I like him and I like what he stands for. I think he's a little bit crazy. He's a little bit bordering crazy for my liking. But he talks a lot of sense when he says things like, if you don't dope, you can't cope. I mean, I fully agree with that. You've got some incredibly talented people there in the world, and there are some incredibly talented people that go unrecognised because there are people above them that don't deserve to be above them. And I think if you live in this society and believe that everyone runs in a clean sport, then you're deluded. But that's as far as I'm going to go with it. Joe Milton. Oh, right. Okay, everybody, just very quickly, because we've got 9 people on watching now. Joe, before I answer his question, he's run some seriously amazing PBs recently. He's bearing in mind Joe's 13. He ran a 19:05 park run the other day. And I don't know if you guys remember, but Joe commented 2 weeks ago saying he had 2 races and he wasn't sure which one to prioritise, the Friday or the Sunday. And I just said, you know what, mate, go for the Friday, because if you don't hold back enough on the Friday because you're aiming for Sunday and you go too fast on the Friday, you'll blow yourself out for Sunday. Well, guess what? He won the Friday race, and I think the Sunday race he qualified to run county, came in the top 10 or something. He's an incredible runner, so I encourage you guys to check him out, follow his channel. Joe, you need to get some of that stuff up there, mate, because you're, for your age, you're a brilliant runner. Jeffrey, yeah, Richard, yeah, he lives in Cape Town and Table Mountain is his playground. I mean, what a playground to have. That's awesome. That having that on your back door. Jeffrey, well done, Joe. Bays, I actually have asthma, and one of my triggers is cold weather, so maybe October to March I'll use preventative brown inhaler. Funny enough, though, I can't run a 202 marathon. I had asthma as a kid. I grew out of asthma when I was about 13, 14, but I had severe asthma when I was younger. I had, is it Becotide, which was the capsules you put in, you twist it, breathe it in. I had the puffers. I had the big, but I used to get croup really badly, that doggy kind of cough. It was horrific. I know what asthma's like, and I know it's horrendous, and I just don't understand. If you're asthmatic, you can run that quickly and that fast. I don't know. Let's not get started. Joe, thanks. I'm planning on making a big update video. Good for you, mate. You need to. You're doing so well at the moment. So well. Bays, you are one of my favourite channels. Absolutely love your race and park run videos. He's got a great channel, hasn't he, mate? Absolutely fantastic. Right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up in 5 minutes. If you guys have any more things you want to add to the chat, any questions you want to ask, because this is the last live stream of 2017. I'll be back in 2018 to discuss how training is going and some new training topics that we're going to be talking about. Tonight it's been a bit of a free-for-all, but I like that. It will be more structured next time. So if there's anything else, post it in there now. We'll get through them and we shall say Merry Christmas. Vegan runner, Bays, the doping is only extra gains. It's like Lance Armstrong still had to train 6 hours a day. Exactly. So if you think about it, doping is the difference between a 2:05 marathon and a 2:02, basically. It's, just as an example, it gives you that small edge, that small advantage. It's nothing major, but it gives you enough to going from a top 20 to a household name, getting a top 3 prize, as far as I'm concerned. But as I said, I don't do controversy and I don't want to talk about it, but you keep drawing me in. Jack, yeah, I'm based near Brighton. Awesome. I haven't got a particular half in mind, but the Brighton one looks a little earlier in the year, end of February, so I'll look at something a little closer to mid-year. That's awesome. Thanks very much, Joe. Right, we're wrapping this up in a couple of minutes, guys. Thank you very much. Any UK half people here would recommend? I don't know really many from down your way, to be honest with you, mate. I could obviously recommend a load around here. Gloucester, Forest of Dean, Severn Bridge, but as Cardiff. But as far as down your way, I'm not 100% sure. Vegan Runner might be able to recommend some because he's along the south coast, and although Brighton is a long way from Bournemouth, I do understand you're along the south coast, so there might be somewhere in the middle that Vegan Runner knows of a good one. Joe Milton, I'm hoping for my first sub 19 on Saturday. He's hoping for some good weather. Awesome, mate. Fingers crossed for that. Joe, Bath half. Yeah, of course, Bath in March. That's a good one. That clashes with one that I do, but I've heard that's 2 loops of a track, so I'm not 100% sure that's... I've heard some good reports about that and not so good. Vegan, totally agree with that. Nightal, cheers for loving it. Mate, thank you so much for tuning in. I know you've been ill. It's great to see you're back out and running again, and I shall catch up with you soon, mate. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining. Right, any last questions, just drop them in now. Otherwise, we are going to call it a day. And just a quick shout out to the Vegan Runner, mate. It's awesome to see you back again. I'm glad that injury didn't hang around. Just please take it easy over Christmas. I'd love to see some more video updates of you, doing everything nicely, calmly, sensibly, building it back up so that you feel good, get that mojo back and get some more videos out there, because we miss your live streams. I understand it's completely not your distance, but 800 meter PB. What, for me, 800 meters, or are you looking, if you're talking to me, yeah, mile's the lowest I've gone, mate. I've never gone under a mile. I've never raced under a mile. I wouldn't even know how to race in 800 metres. Never tried. Maybe though, one day. Bath half looks interesting. I'll make a note of that for 2019. Baze, what do you think about asthma medication? We've talked about that. Stop stirring. Opinion on doping. No more. No more. Right, guys, listen, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Thank you for joining the last live stream of 2017. It's been a pleasure as always, guys. I hope you... Oh, just very quickly, the running inspirational video, as I said, is going out on Friday. I'm really, really excited for that one. Thank you all of you who have submitted videos for that. I really appreciate it. It's going to be a banger. I want all of you guys to get on and share it because you're all in it. Yeah, so keep an eye out for that on Friday. Other than that, there will be a couple more videos before the new year, before Christmas. But as we are talking live now, I want to wish you all a nice festive time. I hope you have a good Christmas. Enjoy time off. Put on some pounds. Don't run. Spend time with the family. That's what I'm going to do. Jeffrey, Night, have a wonderful Christmas and New Year. And you, mate. See you on the tubes. Night gang. See you everyone. Have a Christmas. Right, guys. As always, if you have enjoyed this video and you're not subscribed, subscribe. That'd be awesome. I'm trying to get to 350 subscribers before the new year, so any help on that would be appreciated. As always, Jack, mate, have a great Christmas and New Year. Rossa, Joe, Jeffrey, James, Richard, Brandon. Have I missed anyone? I don't think so. Jack, I said Jack, yeah. Have a fantastic Christmas, New Year, guys, and I shall see you in the new year. Until next time.